Unless, well, never mind. Anyways,
And we're live.
yeah, we're gonna start the episode in 3, 2, 1. Let them rip. No, okay, no. Yo, and hello and welcome to GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube, so you can see us in stunning HD, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. We are streaming live every Monday at 7:50 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast and Facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast and YouTube. If you want to catch the show as it happens before anyone else, be sure to go ahead and join our ever-growing community in the GameSpeak Podcast Discord at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games, battle and catch Pokemon, you know, talk about anime and stuff, get show updates, find friends to play games with, and so much more. This show is 3 BFFs bringing you the hottest video game news of the week. I'm one of your hosts, Jamel Al-Jafra, alongside Brent Bass and Devin Mayer.
Well, hello. I didn't know how to follow up that intro. It's more than I deserved.
Yeah, Brent does the horn better. I sounded more like Blue from Blue's Clues.
You did.
Anyways, so what's been...
What's up, fellas?
Not much, man. Just, working. A lot of work.
Working.
I actually went to the movies this week for the first time.
What'd you see?
I don't know, the last time. Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, was it
How
good?
was that?
It was refreshingly good. After
good.
all the bad Marvel shit that has come out in the last year or so, or since this whole new phase has really started, like it was refreshing to finally get a good. I mean, it's James Gunn. You know, he's done pretty solid with the other Guardians movies. It was good.
So now that James Gunn has gone over to DC, and this is like his Marvel swan song, right? That's what
it's been like compared to. Is like, no, he went out with a bang. It was really good.
So my brother was saying that he doesn't trust James Gunn with these DC IPs. Like he's a Zack Snyder, fan to the max. So like he's like, I don't want James Gunn touching Superman and all this stuff. So what are your thoughts on James Gunn doing a Superman film? How do you think it will be good?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much of his like Marvel flavor he brings over to DC, because like DC's been trying to be like MCU kind of too much, and I feel like bringing James Gunn is just gonna further that. Not that it would necessarily be a bad thing, but like DCU has to find their footing. They haven't found their footing yet. They have all these great characters, all these great stories from amazing comics and everything, and in my opinion, the best that we've seen from that is freaking like Batman Begins series and everything, Dark Knight series.
Yeah. That wasn't even part of the DCU though.
I know. I'm talking about just DC in general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like DC movies, live action movies and stuff. Like,
they should have just kept, that whole. They should have just kept Christopher Nolan's world and just put a Superman in that world. Like I feel like they went off the.
That'd have been dope.
Wrong. Imagine Henry Cavill back then, like as Superman, but in the same Dark Knight world. That would have been tight.
That'd have been cool. I mean, because I don't know, Nolan brought like a more realistic take to the superhero movie, even though it was Batman. He doesn't have any powers, but like, I don't know.
It felt real. It felt like it was real
grounded,
world.
Very grounded. Yeah, very grounded in reality.
And he made good villains. Yeah, or like he picked good people to play villains. Like he like Heath Ledger was just like a pretty boy, at that point. And then, obviously he had some good acting chops like before that, but he wasn't, the Joker like that. Yeah. Like for him to see see Heath Ledger and be like, that's the Joker. Like he's got good vision. That's what I'm saying. They needed him back.
Nolan does just good shit in general.
That's what I mean. I don't think he'd ever come back to DC. I don't think like he was. I think he's just.
That was just one off.
Yeah, he's Christopher Nolan. He's not going to do it anymore.
He's always going on to different things.
Mm-hmm.
Nolan's doing that Oppenheimer movie.
Yeah.
Did y'all see it? I saw the new trailer for that when I was seeing Guardians. They dropped a new trailer for it. Dude, well, first of all, I like what's his name that
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, Gillian Murphy that plays Peaky Blinders, Thomas Shelby.
Yeah.
I like him as an actor a lot. I think he's going to kill it in that role. But it looks
for
really
sure.
interesting.
You know, Cillian Murphy is the guy from 28 Days Later at the very beginning where his PP's hanging out.
Really?
I did not realize that was him. You don't remember that? Like where
never
he
saw
wakes up
28
in the hospital bed.
That's
Never
like
saw
the main
28 Days
character
Later.
of the whole movie.
Yeah,
Like,
that's him. But I remember like just we were laughing about that whenever we were like fucking 13 or something.
Yeah.
And now he's like one of the biggest actors of all time. Like I feel like 28 Days Later felt like an indie like movie back then almost.
It was a big deal. I mean,
It was a big deal, but it didn't have a huge budget.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of like Paranormal Activity or something where it did really well, even though it didn't have much of a budget.
Yeah, I
And
heard
then the
it was
sequel
low
had a way
budget, but-
bigger
yeah.
budget, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
was even better. Fucking.
Definitely. Those were both great movies.
I
But
need to go back and watch those. I heard a lot about it when
You
it was
never
around.
watched them?
No, I never saw
They're
them.
Oh, dude.
fantastic.
If you
in
like
my opinion,
zombies-
I think
Yeah.
it's some of the best zombie movies out there, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely. But like I think whenever it comes to zombies, you got like two or three that go beyond the zombie genre. Like okay, so like obviously there's great zombie all zombie movies are fun.
He was in
But-
The Dark Knight too.
Yeah, he
He was
was.
Scarecrow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just realized. Sorry, didn't mean to cut.
That's
you
what I'm
off.
saying. He's kind of like once what's his face picked him up, like it was just like his career took off. Like once Chris Nolan picked him up, but like I don't know, zombie movies. You had like Dawn of the Dead, fucking all the of the Dead movies. There's so
Shaun of
many
the Dead.
fucking
I
dead.
feel like
movies.
28 Days Later set
Went
the bar
past
for
that.
a lot of things. Like, first of all, you got the fast zombies, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got the internal conflict between the humans against each other type shit. Like, most of the movies up to that point. And then after 28 Days Later came out, you got, like, Walking Dead. And everything is all about
Yes.
the drama amongst the humans. And
Rather
you
than
know what
just
I mean?
the zombies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you know
I-
what I mean? I feel like it
yeah.
changed the game, and it also set the standard for like the road trip during the zombie apocalypse fucking theme. You know,
Yes.
like we're gonna go from point A to point B,
Rather
all
than
the-
just being stuck in
rather
a
than
mall.
hold down the
or like-
mall, or hold down the mansion, or hold down the
Whatever
The
the
one
fuck they
place
say.
where they get trapped.
yeah.
But yeah, so but all those movies are fun. But 28 Days Later is like on a deeper level. I feel like it was
And
more
I just
like
feel
a.
it set a lot of tropes that are still in play today. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
what I mean, that you still see regularly. You know,
I honestly think without 28 Days Later, we probably wouldn't have gotten The Last of Us. Like, I
Yeah.
think The Last of Us takes a lot of stuff from, like, just like the different type of zombie. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody back then was just doing zombie. It was like zombie was just a universal thing. And then 28 Days Later was like, yeah, but what if they were fast as fuck?
yeah.
They're like, or like more human looking, when they're also fast as fuck.
I feel like Walking Dead set pieces really took a lot from the big open empty cities of fucking
Literally the very beginning of 28
Yeah.
Days Later when he walks out, I was like, yeah, it's a very similar look. But
But back to the whole DC movies.
oh yeah, back to DC.
I'm hoping that they get a good start with with like this reset and everything, because like I want to see good DC movies. Like
yeah.
there's a
Yeah, I
lot
got
of
a
good shit
feeling
there.
about it. Like we'll see.
Because
Honestly,
James Gunn's
don't
supposed to be
care.
like their.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Well, they're supposed to be. He's supposed to be like their. What's his name for MCU?
I care
right?
more about
Like-
video
John-
games. Like
not
Favreau.
I want more superhero video games. Like the superhero format is like so played out in movies.
Oh
And it's
gosh,
like,
yeah.
honestly, it would just work better for video games. Like, you could have a million different video games. Like, focus those big budgets into making sweet video
¿Por qué
games.
no dos?
You know?
Well, every time I
Because-
see like a new Marvel movie announced and I see like the trailer for it, I just like I feel like I'm watching like a satire like of superhero. It's like they've reached a point to where the cliche is so intense that like they don't realize they're being cliche, and it bothers me. Like
Well,
a
that's how
superhero will
MCU
land like like the typical like yeah, and then they like come up and everything's like on fire around them, and they come up and then like zooms in on their face. I'm like,
Well,
bro,
that's what I'm saying,
you
that-
look like a fucking GI Joe right now. Like I don't believe you.
That's the point, though, dude.
I hate it. Like that's what I loved about like the early like 2000s superhero movies was that they tried to
They were
make
making
it
a
feel
point
real.
to not do
Yeah,
that.
they were like, hey, how can we
like
be
X-Men and stuff back
yeah,
in the day.
X-Men was over the top.
No, to
Well,
say. I
no,
guess.
X-Men made a point to like change all their costumes to just like a black suit. And,
That's
like,
true.
You know,
Oh yeah,
they,
now it'd be like super
they
flashy.
went out of the way to like change the fucking.
Except for
like,
Toad or whatever his name was. That was just too much.
it was ridiculous.
But like I'm talking about like the Punisher, Spider-Man, fucking even Blade. I feel like even Blade was cool. It was like it knew it was being satirical in the over the topness. These movies don't feel like they're trying to be over the top. They're not trying to tell you like, oh, we're over the top superhero movie. It's just it is that, and there's no irony to it. It's like that's my problem. Is like if you're gonna do that, there better be some irony to the fact that you're doing that. Like it almost like they just do it and they think that it's cool. And people do. Like I'm very in the minority on this, but like it's not something I like. I don't like how cheesy everything is.
I'm kind of with
now.
you on that, and it's like my problem is like there's no real conflict in these movies. Like you know how it's gonna turn out. You know how it's gonna end. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know.
And they're gonna do it until the actors get too old, and then they'll have somebody snap their finger, and all the old ones disappear, and then they get new actors to come in from a different universe to play the same characters. And I'm like, this is so fucking dumb.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of that in the comics though too. Like, yeah, I think you just don't like superhero stuff.
No,
So-
that's a lie. I love like old superhero stuff. That's the problem. I do love superhero stuff. I just don't love Marvel. I don't love Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, no,
bullshit.
the MC, like, since Disney's taken over, like, after Endgame and shit, like, because before Endgame, all those movies added up to build towards one single point.
Yeah, but
and
then
it
they were
was a
like, but
good-
what about our money? How are we going to keep going?
No, exactly, and that's why I said like Guardians was refreshing in the fact that all the shit that has come after Endgame for the mass majority of it has been just dog shit.
Guardians
Yeah.
is great, but it doesn't really feel like a superhero movie.
No.
You know what I mean? It feels like a alternate like Star
like a
Trek or
Misfits.
something. like some kind of weird
Spaceballs
space
almost.
adventure. Yeah.
It's like that's the weird thing is like they've done so much with Marvel that they're just like throwing out movies to the random fucking like meth head that was in one of the comics 10 years ago, like just walking by. They're like, fuck, who do we make a movie about now?
Meth Man.
Yeah, Meth Man. And then everyone's like, yeah, dude, you don't know anything about Meth Man, bro. He was so fucking cool when he walked by in that one fucking scene, dude. I swear to God, you don't know comics. And it's like, dude, no, I just don't give a fuck about any of these guys. Like the fucking blue tick, like what are we fucking doing at this point? Like, I don't even know like what's happening.
Wasn't that DC the Blue Beetle? Guy?
Yeah, the blue fucking beetle dude, like fucking
Wait, there is some like comical superhero called the Tick. right?
the blue
Oh,
tick.
there's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Tick.
Or the Tick,
The
yeah.
Tick
The Tick,
and
yeah.
the Blue Beetle are separate.
Yeah, mixing them up.
Yeah.
But then fucking like people are gonna hate me for this. But why the fuck do we have an Ant-Man movie? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't get.
Okay, Ant-Man's kind of tight.
It's kind of tight, but I don't give a fuck. Like,
Look, okay, I gotta say this.
I'm sorry.
I think the idea of shrinking yourself down to the size of like a fucking
It's been done, bro.
It
We've
ha-
got
it's
Honey,
been-
I Shrunk the
it's
Kids,
been
all right?
done Not enough, okay? For all the
You're not
fucking-
making any valid points other than
Look,
just hating
for
on it,
all
though.
the fucking Groundhog
just
Day
hate it,
spinoffs
yeah.
we've had, why can't we have more fucking shrink down to little people sized fucking like like what? Why not? Why not? What's wrong with the Indian in
I'm
the
not.
cupboard?
Look,
trope?
I love Indian in the cupboard. That's different. There's a story there. All right. Like, and I'm sure there's a story to Ant-Man, but should there be? Do we need Ant-Man? I'm just saying, out of all the superheroes we have, do we need this guy who can shrink down? Like, we've
I'm
seen.
just saying it's cooler than your conventional superhero.
We've seen it in The Boys. He shrunk down. He went into the pee hole. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that, like, I'm like, okay, you guys get it. It's funny that he can shrink. What, like, it's not real. It's cool, but it's not that cool. Like,
It would be incredibly useful, dude. You could spy on people.
that
you
would
wouldn't-
get you'd go to prison.
No, because you'd be like a government entity,
on the
dude.
villains and shit. Like,
Yeah.
look, first of all, you're taking the whole superhero world and comics and everything. You're wanting way too much seriousness out of it.
That's what.
Like, if you read comics
so
and
good.
shit, no, if you actually go and read comics and shit, like,
Maybe modern day comics. Old comics weren't trying to be funny.
well, it depends on who the writer is and what comic you're reading.
That's what I'm saying.
Which
like
comics
old
did you read back in
superhero
the day?
comics.
Yeah, which ones?
Like Spider-Man and stuff
Old
like
superhero
that.
comics were cornier than what you're seeing
They were
today.
corny,
There's some
but they were
super corny
trying
old
to be
comics.
serious. You get what I'm saying? Like they weren't corny for their time.
I think Devin's right. There are writers today that still write great comics, and writers that back in the day that write shitty comics. And,
Of
Well,
course.
and
there's,
vice
and there's
versa.
different, right?
Of
yeah.
course,
You know what I mean?
but
Like-
they chose the good ones to make movies out of. That's all I'm saying. Nowadays, it's like if you have a comic, it's gonna be a fucking movie. I don't care if you're fucking the dog, you know. Like that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Everything's got a fucking movie now,
Yeah.
and that's
Well, that's
annoying.
why-
to
Well,
me.
yeah, I
Disney
don't,
bought
and that's why I don't
Marvel,
like the
though,
shit that's
you know?
happening now. Like the current MCU and all that shit is garbage. Like fucking She-Hulk and all that bullshit. Like,
Yeah, like
Dude,
first off,
and all
we-
these Disney Marvel shows that we're getting, like they're all just half-ass projects now.
yeah.
Like, no, I agree with you on that. Before Endgame, though, all that shit was actually well produced and it all flowed together, made sense. Now it's just a fucking mess going every which direction.
Yeah, and besides all the controversy around the She-Hulk show, which I've never seen, I could not care less.
They had way too many.
Couldn't care.
The direction was so weird. Like,
No,
and how
my-
it ended.
It
It
wasn't
made.
like the worst show. It was just kind of a silly fucking like sitcom almost.
But that's
like,
why
it's
I'm like,
not
who's it
like-
for? That's my question to Disney. Not that they'll ever listen to me or anybody, but like, who are they making these for at this point? It's like, think about each IP or thing and like, okay, who is this for? How are we going to direct it towards those people? What do people want to see? I feel like they're just like, people want to see superheroes, and then they're like, okay, but which ones and what? And they're like, no. They just want to see superheroes.
See,
And it's like-
I actually liked She-Hulk, and I liked it because it wasn't a conventional fucking superhero show. My thing is, I'm just sick of the same old conventional superhero tropes. If you do anything that's like even kind of fucking different and not just the same old fucking fight the bad guy, win the day fucking bullshit, like, I'm in, you know? Like, I'm okay with it. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like everybody dogged on She-Hulk, but it's like, it wasn't trying to be the same old bullshit that
Well,
everything else is, you know? And I don't know. I respect that. You
The
know
reason
what
I
mean?
didn't like the show running like the first everything but the ending. The ending made absolutely no sense
No,
because
you're
they were
right.
just
They-
like they didn't. It was like they didn't know how to end it, and they were like, "Oh, this is how you thought it was gonna end," and they had a whole scene for it, and there's like,
No,
just kidding. This is actually what's gonna
You're
happen.
definitely right.
And she's
The
like,
ending was
I
trash.
know She-Hulk like fourth wall breaks and this and that, but it was like they used that to explain their shitty ending, like of that. It had a weird ass ending.
I felt
it
it
was
was like a
ending
Family
was
Guy
weird.
cut
No,
scene.
I will concede
it was
that.
it was so
terrible
weird,
ending.
Cut
dude.
away.
It was weird.
Yeah,
Like-
but see, yeah, and all that just to say, I just wish that they would try harder. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna put something out, like I feel like they're putting too many out. Oh, it's just constant.
Yeah, well, yeah.
flow
I mean,
of
Ant-Man
shit.
Quantumania. Have you
I feel
seen
like
the
the-
CGI in that shit?
It looks like Spy Kids. That's what I'm saying. It's like just from the trailers, I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
I think the last good superhero thing I watched was the Netflix Daredevil show.
that's so long ago.
I know.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
I mean, like, as far as just a straightforward superhero, like,
It was
fight the
good.
bad guy thing, like, I really enjoyed that show from front to back, and it got canceled, you know?
well,
It's
they're
like-
bringing it back now, and it'll probably
Yeah,
be
but
rated
it's,
PG.
It's gonna be fucking neutered, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be as good.
Yeah, Daredevil already hasn't gotten a very good start.
Yeah, that's they already started it.
Well, yeah, not the show, but he was hooking up with She-Hulk.
Oh, come on. What the fuck, dude?
Bro, they're both lawyers. It makes sense, you know?
In Hell's Kitchen? Or did he just show up to her place, like, wherever She-Hulk resides?
I forgot why they.
There was some
linked up.
weird-
There was some sort of like
Yeah.
meeting of them. You know, it just
It's like Star Wars, where, like, it's a whole galaxy, but everybody runs into each other constantly, like, just thousands of planets, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, look, it's Lando. What? You know, it's like... like, we live on one
Star
planet.
Wars makes way less sense. How
That-
you
I know,
live.
that's
Like,
what I'm
You
saying.
got a really good point there. Like, there's no coincidences in space, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Like a fucking, we live on one planet, and it's hard enough if somebody lives across the country, you know, to ever see them again, you know, in person without meaning to. But like in Star Wars, bro, like, you know, Han and fucking Lando will meet each other just once a week, you know, on accident. somehow like, oh, just came from the outer rim, which is like 4,000 light years away.
No.
I don't know. Anyways,
Guardians 3 was good. It was a
I'm gonna
return.
have to check it out. I enjoyed the first two a lot.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
if you enjoyed the first two, you're gonna like.
I guess
didn't.
that was the last Marvel movie I enjoyed.
and you like the game too, huh?
The game was actually what I played before I watched the movies, and I was so into the game that I watched both the movies because I was like, that was fucking.
Yeah. See, I didn't really care for the second one. I love the first one.
Did
First
you play
one.
the game?
No.
You should play the game.
Fucking.
Apparently, it's really good. It's like
It's
an
really
RPG.
great.
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard a lot.
It's
of
a
good
lot
about
of fun. I mean, it's just kind of like a.
It looks like KOTOR to me.
It's
like
super
almost.
chill. It's not as deep as KOTOR. It's not a very deep game, but it's so fun. And
Yeah, I've heard
it's got a
nothing
lot
but
of,
good about it.
It's got a lot of heart to it.
Yeah.
By the end of the game, you really care about the characters, and it's kind of like its own version of the Guardians characters. Like it's not like the straight rip from
Yeah,
the
it's
fucking
not from the
movie.
MC,
Like
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's nice.
One
Dude,
thing
talking
about
talking about making you care about characters. Guardians 3 is depressing as shit.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, because the backstory that it tells, Rocket's backstory.
why
is,
did I know it was about the
Oh,
raccoon? Because
Yeah.
only with
Well,
animals can you
I
make
think
it.
they
yeah,
talk
it's-
about
dude,
Rocket's
it's so-
backstory in the game too a little bit. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I-
he's like
but-
he's basically a science experiment, but it's more so his
Star Lord's
friends in the
backstory
back.
is different in the game than it is from the movie, so
Really?
it's slightly different. So like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's I like the game version better than the movie. It's interesting. You should definitely
One
it's
thing
worth a
about,
play. I think it's on Game Pass.
I think it is too.
It's got great ray tracing if you're on PC.
Hell yeah.
I think James Gunn is gonna be in charge of like all the gaming stuff too as well, like in DC. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, DC. I think they basically gave him just like, hey,
Full reign.
make this
of-
universe happen.
Yeah.
kind of shit. So it'll be interesting.
I was looking
to
it up
see.
a minute ago. Have y'all ever seen that old movie Slither from 2006? That horror movie.
That sounds, that
yes,
sounds
yes,
familiar.
yes.
Apparently James Gunn directed that.
That movie was trash,
It was trash.
but
He's actually got like a long list of shitty fucking movies that he made until he fucking
yeah. But once he got into superheroes, I think he wanted
found
to.
his
be-
niche.
Yeah.
There, you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We'll see how it goes. I mean, he's a little too comedic for my.
I've
my
enjoyed
opinion.
most of the superhero movies I've seen that he's directed.
I think he's
like,
only done Guardians, right? What else has he
he
done?
did,
As far as I know.
Suicide Squad.
Which
Did
was
he
also
really?
comedic. You know, like
Yeah.
which I'm fine with because it seems like they should let him do the Suicide Squad game. You know, like going
Right.
forward, let him do all that shit. But I don't know. Did y'all do anything interesting? We've been going into
Not
it.
Dude, there was
really.
almost a
I've been
tornado at my
working a lot.
apartment
Yeah, the
shortly
weather has
before
been
this.
insane. Yeah.
It was crazy. Like there's big ass pine trees outside of my apartment, and they were like being like doubled over.
Dude, yeah.
Like, and then hail started flying, and it was raining directly into my windows and stuff. Like,
Dude, I was getting a haircut earlier at like 3, and like it was like pitch black outside from the fucking like the storm. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It looked like it was nighttime. It was wild.
That's insane. Yeah, we need cool eclipses, dude. We don't ever get cool eclipses. You know what I'm saying? Like during broad daylight. I feel like that's something we need. You just reminded me of. I'm going to write that one up to God real quick.
Can we get sweet eclipse?
Yeah, I've been needing some eclipses. You know, like imagine just like an hour-long eclipse that just like blacks out the sky. Like, how come we don't get cool stuff like that out of movies? You know what I'm
We
saying?
do. Like it's.
well, I had one weird event happen to me one time in Madisonville. It wasn't an eclipse, but it might as well have fucking been.
What happened?
Y'all ever heard of a microburst?
No.
Oh, what
It's
the
a-
fuck?
So it's a weather event where literally just a metric ass ton of rain builds up in one small area and then just literally drops.
Oh, okay.
So it was,
Like a
Micro bust.
dude. So I was,
Like a
I
shitload
was-
of water bucket basically drops on you.
I
like,
have to this day. This is back. I was like right. It was like right after high school. I was working at fucking Pizza Hut. I was coming back from delivering a pizza and driving through like the middle of Madisonville, and out of nowhere, this storm rolls in so fucking fast, and it gets pitch black dark. Like it was green. The sky was like super super green, and then it rolls over, and it rained and dropped this water. Like Madisonville flooded in an instant. It dropped rain so hard that it was pitch black. I could not see 10 feet in front of my truck.
dang.
All the traffic had to stop. And it was the sun was out 30 minutes before this. And like it was raining so hard that it made it pitch black outside. like completely blotted out the sun. You could not see 10 feet in front of you. Even with, I had my high beams on and everything. All the traffic had to pull over. And then there was like freaking a foot of water everywhere. Like
Man,
after it
that's
happened.
crazy.
Sounds fun.
It was the most insane. Like I thought the sky was falling. Like it was just apocalypse shit. Like
See, that's the stuff I'm talking about. How come you only got one of those in your life?
I don't
you know what
want
I'm saying?
another. That was wild.
Like, I don't want it to hurt anybody or anything, but like, I want something cool like that. Like, I feel like I always miss the meteor showers. I always miss everything.
It was the craziest fucking
was in a
weather event
really-
that I've ever been a part of.
Man, that's crazy.
Like it was pitch black. You could not see anything, and water was literally just streaming out. It wasn't even like raindrops. It was just like a constant flow of water out of the sky.
I feel that.
It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What were you gonna say, Brent? What happened?
I was just gonna say I was in a crazy fucking hailstorm like that one time where everybody was like pulling off the road and like trying to get into fucking like I was like parked,
under something.
I was parked under this little tiny tree with like 4 other cars and like we're all just like it was crazy. I just got videos on her.
It's like
fucking,
busting windshields and
I
stuff.
mean, there
or-
was straight golf balls falling out of the sky, dude. Just hundreds of them. Like it was, and we were in Colorado, just in the mountains, you know, and like we're driving, and you see this like fucking just huge ball of ice hit the road, and psh, and we were like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, they're just everywhere, bro.
That's
it was
crazy.
so crazy.
Yeah.
But
Good old weather.
Damn
Any-
nature, you scared.
Yeah.
Damn,
Damn, nature. Anyways, so let's get into the currently playing. So what are you boys playing?
I played something new this week. Well, not new. Something I hadn't played in a long time. Motherfucking Fortnite.
Hey,
my cousin
let me
was
know.
over.
I'll play with you. I
That
got
shit
the
is
battle
fucking
pass.
crazy.
I told you.
Like that shit is like
Bro, you play with the fucking lumen and nanite on and shit? Like, it's
the
fucking...
what?
The ray tracing and
Oh.
shit.
The lumen and nanites. And
Well, yeah, the graphics are crazy, but
Element
that's not even what I'm
45.
talking about. I'm talking about all. I had ODM gear with a fucking lightsaber, flying around the map, hitting these grind rails and shit, and like jumping off, using the force midair,
Hell
and
yeah,
the
like,
dog.
fuck is
and then
that?
yeah, exactly. I was like my brain, my old brain could barely comprehend it. And my cousin was like, "Oh yeah, that's ODM gear. Go get." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, it's like I was like Titan,
Yeah.
or Attack on Titan." He's like,
You can
yeah.
be Aaron Yeager
And,
right
like,
now,
literally-
bro.
dude, it's-
like,
It is, Jamel. It is dope as shit.
Imagine.
And like they did it.
Telling you,
I thought it
bro.
was just gonna be kind of
people
like
think Fortnite's how you're fucking around, bro.
they
like,
went above and beyond on the animations and how it works and everything.
no, I think Fortnite's fucking around.
It's tight as fuck, dude. They keep changing the map in cool ways, too. Like, bro, the graphics are stupid right now.
Yeah, the graphics
Fucking,
are really
like,
good. The ODM gear was cool as fuck. Like you literally like he does you can do all kinds of crazy shit and like swing roll low and
Yeah, it's sweet.
and they're flying around just like Attack on Titan, and you've got swords, but then you can also like launch yourself up in the air and then switch to a different weapon or a lightsaber, which I did, and just freaking dog on kids with a lightsaber. And you can pick up the Sith or the Jedi powers, and I got the Sith powers, and you can just you can pull up the ground and throw a bunch of rocks at a kid, and it just I literally
I haven't played since they
obliterated.
put the Star Wars powers in. I need to jump on that.
This shit is wild.
That's badass.
And then there's swords and all kinds of other crazy shit and all kinds of vehicles.
yeah, the
like,
swords are sick.
like I said, my old brain could barely fucking comprehend it. Like, it is. We
vehicles are
need to
sick,
give it
too.
a try, honestly, in
Dude,
our
let
Discord.
Sounds
me know,
overwhelming.
bro.
That's my problem.
It's
It's like
not though. You can even play the no build mode, and
Yeah, I was playing the no build.
No build
yeah.
is where it's at, bro. It's like a whole new game.
But all the weaponry is still pretty crazy and a little bit overwhelming. But at first, I was just like, "What in the fuck?" But then afterwards, I was like, "All right, that's pretty cool."
Bro, let me know next time you play. I'm always on that shit. Fucking,
For sure, for
I'll
sure.
be getting dubs, bro.
But
Mad dubs, you know.
dubbing over here.
yeah, other than that, just Rocket League and Warzone.
Dubs.
Fuck
Noise.
Warzone though. I'm getting the hackers are getting so bad. in
Yeah,
Warzone.
well, ranked starts like day after tomorrow, so I can only
Oh,
imagine.
boy.
Well, all the fucking hackers are
Oh,
going to go
they're
over
gonna go
there.
Yeah, as long as you stay out of range, we're
Yeah,
fine.
we're good. We'll finally be able to have fun again. But yeah, so That don't forget Redfall. We've all played a little bit of Redfall at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe
I didn't
no,
even.
Devin.
I didn't even fucking play it.
I put
'cause
about
Didn't
7
try?
hours in, into
I
it.
played a pretty good chunk of
Y'all
it.
didn't give me any hope because like I asked y'all what the
Oh,
next
it's bad.
day. I asked y'all the next day and you're like, it's not good. So I didn't even fucking play it.
You know, it's not like it's not great.
It's not the worst game
It's not
that was ever
it's
made.
Terrible. It's just like, first of all, it's really poorly optimized. Like,
Very poorly
really,
optimized.
Like, you'll walk into a room and like all the textures in the room will take like
A long time to pop.
fucking 20 seconds to load in.
Mhm.
Like,
And for that reason, I'm out.
Frame rate dips.
oh, bad dips, bro. I gotta,
Okay.
you know, like
Invisible
my-
players,
I've got
floating
a-
guns.
Yeah, there's no excuses.
You're not
like,
making any.
The AI is so dumb. Like,
If
it's
you-
so dumb.
It has a bad case of like you turn on the frame generation and it'll crash every like fucking 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I figured y'all would have enough to talk about to where I just didn't even.
We
see
do.
a
I
point
mean,
Well,
behind
like,
it.
we
like,
played
just-
co-op, but co-op is worse than the actual main game because in co-op, there's no enemies. It's like when
I
you
think
go.
that might have been because we were so early game or
No.
something. You think?
No, there's just no enemies because I played co-op with somebody else with Hans, and there's no enemies. This was after I had been
That's
playing.
a shame because co-op had the potential to be way more fun than the real game.
Yep.
Because like I did have fun like running
Running
around.
around.
Like when we did encounter an enemy, like the one out of one time we did,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun fucking him up together. You know, like
But whenever I went into solo, there were enemies everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah.
But whenever you go into multiplayer or co-op, they just disappear. Like there's
It's
just
gotta be a bug then.
no. There's just they're not there. It's like a difficulty thing. There's only enemies wherever the mission is. So like so you have this big open world ish map that there's no enemies on until you get to the areas where your quest is like taking you.
And then if
which
you're
is
playing
dumb.
solo, there's not really any like penalty for dying. Like
No.
it just puts you back at the last like checkpoint you're at, but you can literally just run right over and all the monsters you were just fighting are still at the health they were at whenever you last fucking fought
It's
them.
so dumb,
You
dude.
know, and the AI
Also-
is fucking terrible.
So
bro.
bad.
They're like walking into walls. Sometimes they don't even notice you and just walk straight past you.
Or they
Sometimes
notice you when you're sneaking.
Yeah, or like you're totally out of sight and they just see you. It's so fucking dumb. Like
Yeah, you can snipe. Like, what's the point of having a sniper with a silencer? When you shoot one, they immediately run at you.
the
They know where
silencers
you're.
don't do fuck all.
No,
dude.
and also there's nothing outside of the quest. So like. You see you have this big map. Like I went to this place, this like fucking light tower. What are they called? Fucking the sends the light out for the ships. Why am I not
A lighthouse.
Lighthouse. You see this big lighthouse off in the distance, and you're like, "Oh shit! I bet there's something cool there." You get there, you fight all these enemies. You get inside. There's nothing fucking here. It's like it's a cool building to go around in, but there's nothing
I mean,
to find.
I 100% agree with you. Like, let me ask you this: like, if the game was 100% better optimized, but the only caveat was that instead of a big open world, there was like 4 choosable worlds like Deathloop. Like, honestly, I would totally.
Oh, it'd be
choose-
so much better
it would
for
be-
Deathloop, but I don't want that. I want it to be this open world, but I want them to put things in it. It's just
Yeah.
a big empty map.
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna make this fucking kind of game, you might as well make it like more Deathloopy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
make it like a very focused linear,
Yeah.
but open like
Make it
puzzle
more
box
dense in the
experience.
yeah.
Yeah,
It feels unfinished, but I will say this: the combat at times feels
good. Yeah, but
like there are
you can't
moments-
use it on anything.
Yeah, and like the
Can't
enemy
come-
variety
don't matter if there are no
is
enemies to
trash.
fight.
There's like 4 enemies that attack you. There's like the cultists. There's like the cultists with the fucking shield. There's like 2 types of vampires. I don't know.
That's it.
It's
The-
dumb. There's like the blood vampire that comes every now and then when you piss everybody off, and then he's just like slightly harder to kill than a
Yeah,
normal
or
vampire.
like the one that like swims around under the ground and like pops
Oh
up. and stuff.
god, yeah.
But and then there's only like 4 types of weapons.
Oh, and the vampire nests are all exactly the fucking same. Like,
Mhm.
you go into each one, and, like, it's usually, like, the exact same one you went into the last one. Or, like, there's, like, 3 different variants of, like, vampire nests. And, like,
They're all the same. Yeah, and there's no there's only there's like assault rifles, snipers, pistols, There's no grenades. There's no explosive thing.
There's not even cutscenes. The cutscenes are just like literally just like
It's
pictures,
just them stuck
like still pictures, and then the
words
voiceovers going over it. Like they didn't even take the
They
time
didn't
to
animate
make
it.
full animated cutscenes. Like
Though have you played any other games that are notable before we jump into this? Because there's a lot of info about Redfall from Phil Spencer about what he's basically like, it's my fault because...
Yeah, I've played a lot of games.
So
Yeah,
I'll just go into...
talk.
So like just to mention it, we won't to cover it again in the news,
Yeah.
but basically he said like, we fucked up because they were already so far into Redfall whenever we bought them that we didn't help them with it. We basically just stood...
Okay, look, I'm not going to try to interrupt you super hard, but, like, my thought is, like, okay, with these loading times, like the 20-second texture loading and stuff, it makes me feel like they were developing it with the PS5's SSD in mind, you know? And then when they were forced to switch over to Xbox, they just, like, couldn't pivot, you know? Like, they had too much fucking shit. Like,
so what he said is that they just, like... He's like, we just left them to their own devices. He's like, whenever it came to, Starfield, he's like, that was one that we started from the bottom. And we were like, okay, like, we're going to help you with this the whole way. He's like, we fucked up because we didn't think they needed help, but we needed them to have it out by a certain time. He's like, by the time we realized that shit was behind, he's like, we didn't think it was going to be this bad, though. He's like, we did mock reviews and stuff, and it was like double digits higher than what we got on reviews when it came out. He's like, we didn't give them the time of day that we should have. He's like, because we didn't really expect it to be this bad. He's like, the 30 frames per second thing. He's like, we have a team that could have helped them do this. He's like, but we didn't. He's like, he took all the blame for it. He was like, basically, I just mismanaged their team whenever we brought them in. He's like, and we've learned basically, that we have to be on the ball. He's like, they can do whatever they want creatively. He's like, we're not going to stop them creatively, but we have to make sure that they get the foundation done before they focus on all the extra shit they want to do. He basically just took all the blame for it.
Yeah,
And
he's got to do damage control. That's like his fucking
that's his thing.
Role in the company. You know what I mean?
Though he took it for real, though. He's like, I have a lot of excuses. He's like, but I fucked up. He's like, we fucked up. Xbox is fucked up. He basically just admitted, like, yeah, we didn't do what we should have done. He's like, we didn't get in there. We didn't back them up like we should have. He's like, because they're already working on some other stuff for us, basically, that we were just like, fuck this game. Like, is basically his words. Like, we just didn't give it the time of day.
Yeah, the real problem with that isn't necessarily that Redfall ended up being not the best game ever or that this or that. It's just that Game Pass still doesn't have that big hit yet,
No.
And
it had Forza, it had Halo. Those were both great games.
Yeah, but they're old, at this point.
Yeah, at this
You
point.
know what I mean? We at this point, we haven't had a reason to pay for Game Pass in a minute if you've already completed game,
Oh yeah,
Forza.
no.
Like,
Unless $15 a month, you're getting what you get on like
don't get me
Hulu
wrong,
or whatever.
I'm still paying for Game Pass every month, but
Yeah.
it's like sometimes I'm just sitting there, I'm like, why?
Yeah. No, I get that for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I find myself returning back to some games, but here lately I haven't. Like I haven't played
No.
Forza in a minute. I've been meaning to go back and try the rally update, but yeah, I just hadn't been in a racing mood. But that's kind of
My thing is, like, if I took all
it.
the Game Pass money that I've spent and just bought the 2 or 3 games that I play regularly on Game Pass, I could have unsubscribed to Game Pass and just had those games forever, and
Yeah.
probably I would have already spent the money. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
if you think about it, the $15 a month, like if with games being $70 an
I'm not even paying for
game.
Ultimate. I'm paying for the fucking PC one. So it's like
then you
$10
still
a
would.
month for me. You
Yeah,
know what I
so
mean?
then you'd basically only be saving $120. That'd be less than 2 games a year, like at $70 a pop. Like you're actually not.
Unless you get them on sale, which is entirely like viable. I see Forza Horizon 5 on sale for like $30 all the time. You know what I mean? Like
True, but I'm just saying, like you get all those other games too for the same price.
No, totally.
It's like I think Game Pass, no matter what, even if they didn't have great first-party games, which they don't, still worth it for $10 a month.
Absolutely.
It's
I
like,
know.
you know, like
I just feel like that was their big selling point. Is like, yeah, we're gonna have all these great first party games, and it's just, you know, I just want the first party games.
Same.
I just want it. You know.
I for sure want that as well. But they did admit to something that I've been saying for a long time, where he was like, we're not trying to compete console wise. He's like, Game Pass is our thing. Like, he was like, we don't give a fuck about Xbox, basically.
Well, honestly,
he just
fucking
straight up
PlayStation
admitted
smashing them on that too. Like the fucking PlayStation Plus subscription thing is a better fucking service in my opinion. Like it really is. Like I mean, like you got a better catalog of games on PlayStation right now. Like I don't know, like people,
depending on which tier you have and shit.
if you have the second tier, right, the one that like just gives you access to the game catalog or whatever, you have I feel like you have a better selection of fucking games.
Currently, yeah, but going forward, if they stick to their guns, it won't be. Like if you're
now when Starfield comes out,
that's what I'm
a
saying.
whole different
When you're
story.
getting first party
But that's
games
like
day
at
and
the end
date,
of the year, you know what I mean? Like there's just not enough.
And then
you know,
if the
Not enough
Activision
to-
shit ever comes to,
yeah, how depending on how that goes, because now that it's blocked by the CMA, that means in the UK you won't be able to get those games.
It's like right now we're all paying for potential. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
And
Yeah.
like I'm gonna keep paying for it, but it's like
it's definitely mismanaged. That's what I'm saying. Like it's been mismanaged. Phil Spencer admits it's been mismanaged. So it's like, but this is my thing. What do you do about it?
yeah, I was literally just. I wonder how they're going to remedy this.
Yeah, what's the next step?
I think what you do
Or is there
about
any
it
remedy
is, like,
for
you buy
Redfall?
the rights to fucking really dope games and put more dope games on the
Or
service.
just work on the shit you've already got.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's
yeah.
like quit
Yeah.
buying shit. Okay.
I mean, in the meantime, you need something to satiate the audience. You
Yes.
know? You need something for your fucking people to fucking.
Throw some
sink their
emergency funds at Arcane and have them fix Redfall. Like
figure
out a way to
That's
get it
that's
better.
already on the fucking docket.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even.
Is
it though?
That's
I mean, I
mandatory.
hadn't
Yeah,
heard-
he did say like they're gonna fix it, but the
You
problem is
have to, dude.
the problem is even if you fix that game, the base game sucks.
That's a cyberpunk-esque undertaking, man. Like,
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
big.
fundamentally like some broken issues
Yeah.
about the game. You know, like it's like okay.
I think it's worse than Cyberpunk because one, I mean, it's not as big as Cyberpunk like of a game, but it's worse because at least Cyberpunk's base game is somewhat fun and decent. I feel like the base game for this is a little
Yeah,
empty.
no,
There's
good
nothing
point,
there.
good
They would
point.
have to literally change the game itself. They would have to change the way that the game works. The co-op would have to be different. They'd have to add things to the
content of
world.
it, yeah.
Yeah, there's just not enough
It
content
kind of
in it.
reminds me of Far Cry Blood Dragon. Did you ever play
Yeah,
that game?
it's literally that. It's just empty. It's just a big
Yeah.
empty open world. And it's like, yeah, but where's the fun? Like, where's the cool stuff happening?
Yeah. Well, anyways, speaking of fun games, I played that. I played Redfall, and then I played the other two big games that are out right now. I played Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and I played Dead Island 2. And I guess I'll start with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Like, I've been reading online that like the PC version of it is just fucking up really
Ass.
bad and just super bad. And like I was like, all right, maybe I just won't get the PC version of it because I read it won't work on the Steam Deck, so that's a big deciding factor on whether I get it on PC or not. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was like, fuck it, I'll just get the PS5 version. So
I heard that version's bad too.
It's bad.
I told you.
But look, I regret not getting it on PC. Honestly, I'll probably.
we
unless
both
it's
told
a
you
PS5
like play it safe.
exclusive, I'm getting it on PC from now on.
Yeah.
But anyways, either way, it's still totally playable. I mean, it's
Yeah,
very. It's
just
very-
like 30 to 40 frames dipping apparently.
No. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, it depends on what mode you're playing. Like, if you're in the performance mode, it usually hovers in like the fucking high 50s. Like, it's not like super bad, but like the upsampling is so aggressive that if you're playing on like a 4K TV, it's got this like weird like artifacting and stuff. I find it's better on my 1440p screen. You know what I mean?
I feel like most gaming I do, like I don't even fuck with the 4K TV. I'm just gonna.
It's almost no point. It looks great on the 1440.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the PlayStation will downsample it. You know what I mean? So anything that's supposed to be in 4K automatically kind of gets a facelift at 1440p.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So Anyways, I've been playing it on my 1440p screen, and it's got ray tracing and stuff on the PlayStation version, so it does look really good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, all the videos I've seen of it, quality-wise, like resolution-wise, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the textures look great, but it's just the performance is where the issues
The frame rate is like, honestly, like, okay, if I play on performance mode whenever I'm hitting a smooth 60, and then if I notice it dipping into like the 40s or anything like that, which happens on Kobo, which is like this big planet you go to at the beginning, I'll switch it over to the performance mode. I mean, not the performance mode, the quality mode, because you just get like a sharper image for. And if my frame rate's dipping, I might as well just lock it.
Yeah,
at
it might
30
as well
for a little
get
bit,
the
you know what I mean?
get the visuals.
So I kind of just jump back and forth between that. I've gotten to the point where I can do it super fast now. You know,
It's
what
so
I mean?
sad.
I
Like,
know.
isn't that sad? Like, this is a AAA fucking title from one of the most like funded. Like, they have the most money. Like, EA is just fucking top notch, like top tier.
Well, honestly, I think they could have remedied that by like letting you toggle ray tracing on or off. You're forced to have.
But-
ray
Oh, there's no
tracing.
option
There's
on it?
no option.
Oh.
If you could just hit the ray tracing switch, I guarantee you could hit 60 fucking frames per second. Like, you know what I mean?
I honestly think
Probably have a sharper image
what I was
with
saying.
less upscaling. Like,
I honestly think what I was saying before. I think this is an Unreal 4 problem. I think Unreal 4 is reached its max. Like, and I think once all these Unreal 5 games start coming out, like, it's gonna do so much better. Like, I don't know why, but I think that's the problem. Is like it's like we've reached a point to where consoles and PCs have just outlived what Unreal 4 can do. You know what I'm saying?
maybe. I honestly think it's also a product of just games being rushed out the door. I mean,
That too.
let's
yeah.
think about this.
Just
Like,
blame the companies.
look, I mean, think about this for a second. Like, Jedi Survivor has been in development for 3 years, okay? And,
Yeah.
And those 3 years have happened in the most fucking tedious years of game development history. I mean, we had fucking COVID. We had fucking everybody's working
Everything.
from home and shit. I mean, half
Yeah.
of this game was probably made from people working from home. You know what I mean? During COVID. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the
Like,
first game wasn't a fucking performance spectacle either.
it was
the first
pretty
game,
impressive, though.
It looked pretty good.
no, dude. I went back.
For the time,
I
like,
went back
when
and
came
played it
out,
like a couple weeks ago just to see what it looked like compared to this one. There's
It
still,
looks
it was
good.
stuttering. It was fucking no. There's still a bunch of shit going on with
Not
that.
on I played it on my 2060 and I was getting smooth.
I played it on the PS4 Pro and it was
1440p.
smooth as butter.
Go back and play it now. I guarantee you. I'm talking like 2 weeks ago.
Dude, my computer will fucking thrash that game.
Go play it. Go
I
play. I'm
promise
not
you.
talking about the stuttering of the frames. I'm talking about like the cutscenes and shit. Like just lots of pop in, lots of fucked up random performance shit. Like the
I didn't
cutscenes are.
notice it when I was playing it back in the day.
I didn't notice it either, but I went back because I was like, I wanted to see what it looked like compared.
Maybe we're just spoiled these days, you know?
Maybe.
Either way, I will say this. The gameplay itself is super duper fun. Like, I love this game. I like the series, you know? I like the first one a lot.
Yeah,
Okay?
I like the
So-
story.
And I like the fact that you have, like, a Dark Souls type game with, like, a fucking... Like,
Lightsaber.
Star Wars skin.
not even all that. Just, like, that it's not super grim and fucking burn
Oh,
and
okay.
the ashes and all this weird shit.
The embers.
It's like I just want that gameplay with like a way more lighthearted coat of paint over it, and that's what this is. You know,
Yeah.
Like, you still have the giant vicious monsters. It's
Rancors and
super
bosses.
fucking hard sometimes. If you venture out of your way, you can find bosses that are just like aggressively fucking overpowered. You know what I mean?
Does
But
this one feel easier than the first one?
to me, it does a little bit. But I'm playing. Okay, so I played the first one on the like second hardest difficulty, and I had a pretty rough time with it. Like
Yeah.
I you know, but at that point I had never played a Soulsborne game or anything like that. It was like my very first Soulsborne-y type experience. But I remember thinking, man, this is fucking hard. You know? what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
This time I'm playing on the second hardest difficulty, like I did the first one. And I'm finding it relatively easy for the most part. Like, I've had a few boss fights where it's like, you know, okay, I had to do it 3 or 4 times to, like, get it down, you know what I mean?
But once you got it, I've noticed that they haven't mentioned the Souls part of it as much. Like when the first game came out, they talked about that
It's-
all the time.
It was
They
like
were-
a popular tag along with it. Anytime it
Yeah.
was talked about.
This time, nobody's mentioned that. Not even in the reviews. Nobody's like, oh, they've made the Dark Soulsy part harder, or like they've made it more.
I'll say this:
refined.
if you crank it up to fucking the hardest level, you'll still have a very, very challenging experience. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
there are times when you have like shitloads of droids all shooting at you at the same time, and like it.
But that sounds more actiony and less like, and it sounds like more like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't sound like more like here's a boss that's really hard to beat, or not a boss, but here's a mob who's really hard to beat. Like,
It's very skill based because like
okay, that's all I want to hear.
You can either stand there and block until your block breaks and then you get shot to death, or you can like time your block like perfectly for each shot that's
For like a
coming at you,
parry.
which is like, mind you, it's like pew 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 pew
Yeah.
from like every angle, you know. So you have to LB 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 LB, you know, like to like fucking like block them all back at them, or else you're fucking gonna either get hit yourself or you're gonna break your block. Or you're going to have to run up on them and, like, get to them fast enough to, like, hit them with your sword. But you also have, like, different stances in this one. So, like, in the original one, you just have, like, your single-blade lightsaber or your double-blade lightsaber. And you can switch between it, and it felt dope. In this one, you have your single-blade lightsaber and your double-blade lightsaber, and then you can break the lightsabers in half and have 2 lightsabers. And then there's, like, several more that I haven't unlocked yet, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like,
I've seen that. I've heard that, like, that is very taken from, like, the Dark Souls thing, where there's, like, one that's, like, a heavy weapons class, basically, where it makes your lightsaber.
crossguard.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
wood.
I haven't unlocked any of them, so I don't want to spoil
Oh,
anything
my bad,
for
yeah.
myself. But like, fucking, so far the 3 different, and you can only have 2 equipped at a time. So at meditation points or bonfires,
But
or
you can
whatever,
always interchange them,
yeah,
right?
you can always interchange them, but you have to go to like a meditation point to do it. So you like, you know,
like a bonfire.
You can't just do it on the fly. You know what I mean? So you have to think about what you're like equipping, basically. And then, like, you can level up your stuff, so you get skill points, and then you put your skill points into, like, leveling up your different stances or your force powers and stuff.
Yeah.
You start off with most of the force powers you had at the end of the first Jedi game. It's really good. Like, gameplay-wise, I'm super satisfied, and I can't wait to see where the story goes. I'm not that deep into it yet because I'm, like, really taking my time exploring. Like, I have to explore hardcore in these games because I feel like if you can find those little stim pack canisters, like, that give you an extra health pack, it just makes the game so much easier, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably another reason why this game feels so much easier to me is because I made a huge focus on, like, increasing my health and, like, getting stim pack canisters.
Being OP
and
for
stuff.
each
fight. But yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun with that.
That's
and then,
dope.
so I started playing Dead Island 2, and I gotta say, in this, like, sea of fucking shitty, poorly optimized fucking games, like, you know, not shitty games, but, like,
Just or
Poorly
just
optimized.
poorly optimized,
Yeah.
you know? Fucking Dead Island 2 stands out because it is just so well optimized. Like, it is fucking perfectly, like, frame paced, and, like, the graphics are fantastic, and it runs really good on the Steam Deck, and, like, it's funny. Like, the gameplay is really good. Like, I have nothing bad to say about Dead Island 2. I'm actually surprised it's not getting more love. Like, it's really well made. Like,
How's the combat and everything? It looked kind
the
of
combat's dope, bro.
okay. It
So,
looked
like,
a little repetitive on some of the gameplay I saw, but I guess that was just the person playing.
Bro, if you, like, hit a zombie's arm, it'll, like, snap, and then they'll just have, like, this dangly, broken arm.
Yeah.
And, like, you hit their other arm, and then they're just walking at you with, like, broken, dangly arms. You
Yeah, I've
know
heard
what I
the
mean?
gore is next level.
It's
Oh,
really,
yeah.
like, the gore physics are wild. Like, you'll
I heard
take...
one person say like it was like a gore, like they focused all on the gore physics and then built a game around it.
Yeah,
Like,
I can... yeah,
or the
totally.
gore system. Yeah.
That sounds pretty accurate, yeah. It's
Dude,
it's a lot of fun, though. I mean, like, it's just... If you want just a fun, like... don't go in expecting,
zombie
like,
romp.
the deepest game ever, but it's just a fun, like... you know, slasher game. You know, you go around killing zombies, finding cool weapons, and
I was
killing
like, can you
zombies.
make some cool weapons, or you just find
I'm
them?
not really deep enough into it yet. Like, I haven't been building anything, but I'm very, very early on because, like, my Steam Deck and my PC don't have cross save because I'm using, like, this weird thing to get it work. That's the problem. It's an Epic Store exclusive, so I can't play it on the Steam Store. So I'm having to use some weird workarounds to get it to work on the Steam Deck. But, like, I don't have the same save file, so I basically just played the beginning of the game 2 times because I played it once on my computer and then once on the Steam Deck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm still pretty early days on all that, you know what I mean? So by next week, I'll have a full review of Jedi Survivor and fucking Dead Island, so...
Welcome to Hell A.
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking it up.
I would recommend it, man. I really think it's cool. I don't know. I enjoy it a lot. It'll run really well on your computer.
It looks like a fun AA game. Like it looks AAA quality, but like a AA like story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it reminds me of like those older Dead Island, like something. You know what I'm talking about? It just reminds me of like that type of game that
That's my
doesn't
thing.
exist really anymore.
I wasn't a big fan of the original Dead Island.
I like the original Dead
But
Island.
it is a lot like the original Dead Island. It keeps that same formula, like the it's not like an open world, but you have like a big environment that's densely fucking packed with cool shit for you to find.
I've heard it's actually pretty linear. Like it tells you where to go basically.
Yeah, more or less. But like the environments are really fucking well made. Like, it doesn't feel like you're in like a tight corridor or anything. Like there's a bunch of ways to get where you're going, like even though you know where you're going,
Yeah, that's what's up.
But
So let's get into the video game news. Just so you guys know, we are using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the articles as our own. We're simply bringing them all to one place for you. So let's hit it off with the biggest. This is Xbox striking back after they sucked and failed, but they failed. Microsoft has announced that a new Xbox Games Showcase will be live streamed this June and will once again include reveals of upcoming Xbox games from both first and third-party studios. In addition, there will also be a Starfield Direct, a whole show dedicated to a deep dive on Bethesda's upcoming space-faring RPG. As detailed on the Xbox Wire blog, the Xbox Games Showcase will be live streamed on Sunday, June 11th at 10 a.m. PT. No specific developers or games have been teased, but naturally, whatever is shown will be our first look at what's coming to Xbox PC and Game Pass in the future. That's a lie, because whenever Phil Spencer went on to Xcast, kind of funny Xcast, where he basically talked and took all the hard questions about why Redfall sucked ass and what's going on with Xbox. He did mention that we're going to see a bunch of games that we've already heard about as well, like including Avowed. I think Avowed was one that he mentioned specifically. So that's going to be good because I want to see Avowed. That's like that's like the Elder Scrolls of Obsidian. Like how they've got their Outer Worlds to their Fallout. This is going to be like their Elder Scrolls.
I hope so, man.
So, I'm excited to see that. But basically it says Starfield Direct, which will be aired immediately following the Xbox Game Showcase, will feature, quote, tons of new gameplay, developer interviews, and behind-the-scenes insider info.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
If there's one thing I don't think is going to suck, it's going to be Starfield.
It fucking better not, man.
That
I
shit's gonna be
swear
so
to God.
There's nothing left. If Starfield fails, Xbox is done. No, I'm calling it right now. Xbox will be done.
Starfield's going to be fucking awesome, dude.
It better be.
Like, I have no doubt in my mind.
I've got some doubts in my mind at this point.
Especially, like with the ship customization and everything that they're promising, like just everything combined, like please don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
It looks so promising. Like,
I think it's going to be, I guarantee you, honestly, it's going to be 30 frames per second. Like, that's just my guess.
Don't even
Shut
say
up, Jamel.
that.
Shut up.
At least on console.
You take
console.
your negativity and you go somewhere else with it. You understand?
I'm just being real. But I think, honestly, with how big of an impact it had on Redfall, like whenever they mentioned that it was going to be 30 frames, I think Xbox knows they better not fucking mention 30 frames.
Bro, yeah.
They better come out like
fucking figure it out.
They're like, it'll be 60 frames minimum, guys. Like, but I don't know. It's Bethesda, so we'll see. Bethesda's not known for their peak
frames,
performance, you know what I'm saying? But anyways,
real nervous.
what y'all got?
I'll go. So, Discord is ruffling some feathers. Discord will soon be requiring users to pick a new username. So, I mean, traditionally, you can make whatever fucking username you wanted, and then there was a number tag at the end of it.
Correct.
Well, they are doing away with this.
So no more numbered tags.
Yeah, so everybody's going to have unique usernames now. So the XO underscore and all that bullshit's going to make a comeback. But yeah, Discord, the popular app that has become the backbone for most gaming communities, has just announced some major changes, and it will involve Discord users having to update their usernames. As shared on the official Discord blog, users will be prompted to change their usernames to something new without the digits applied to it. Presently, Discord usernames have a set of numbers applied to it, but with new changes coming to the app's infrastructure, this will be phased out entirely. The post elaborates that this change will allow users to have an easier time to identify and connect with your friends, and that the newly chosen username will be unique to the user for Discord. So that means whenever this reset hits, if you don't go and get your username, if it's like a popular one that you think would get taken, you're SOL.
When are they doing this?
So
The real McBooty's sitting somewhere just waiting right now.
Dude, I will find you.
Yeah.
You know, so McBooty is mine.
Wait, am I
okay?
Devondre on Discord or am I Devondrius?
You're
I'm
Devondrius.
Yeah, I'm Devondrius. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna get taken. I'm pretty safe
It'll
on that.
definitely get taken.
Dude, Devondrius has never.
100,000.
Devondrius has never.
Dude,
Look, if
McBooty will
anybody's out here,
100% be
There's
taken.
30,000
Everything's gonna get
Devondriuses
taken.
out
no.
there
On
ready to
every
go
other
right
thing
now.
that's been unique username, Devondrius has never been taken.
Look,
Really?
we will see. I guarantee you McBooty's gone and Devondrius is gone.
Shut up.
You're going to have to be
Shut
Devondrius.
up.
There has to be somebody out there actually named Devondrius.
So
That's true.
I'm trying to skim through this and see. This is.
While he's looking for that, Brent, what you got?
Okay, let's see what got ya. A PlayStation Showcase event is coming the week of May 25th. Eat your heart out, Xbox.
Wait. Oh, okay.
So no, it's happening right before Xbox's showcase. So
It's almost like an E3
you know,
area. It's
no biggie.
July. Well, it's E3 time around July, right?
yeah.
So this is like their E3
Except we're not
stuff.
actually having E3.
No. But this is like the Nintendo Direct. I guarantee you there will be a Direct at this time as well.
Yeah, well, this is all conjecture right now. We don't really have official word from PlayStation. This is just Jeff Grubb talking out of his ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's legit, and I think that Xbox was gonna do this anyways, but they just announced it before everyone else because they had to get ahead of the fucking Redfall ass dumb that happened. They were like, "Fuck, we gotta give some good news, something."
So there's no exact time on when this is going to happen.
Damn.
At least not in that article.
You're just gonna wake up and your name's gonna be taken.
Well, like, I mean, so the big issue that a lot of people have with it is specifically like big name streamers and stuff, like getting their specific name because people love to copycat the names and whatnot. And then also there's kind of like they're also worried about like a privacy deal kind of going with it too, because you could display your Discord name, but nobody could really add you unless they had that code.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's a very good idea. But we're gonna see a lot of shitty like numbered names and XO_XX
No doubt.
420 da da da.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Mortal Kombat 2 is closing in on okay, so Mortal Kombat 2 as in the movie is closing in on its Johnny Cage. Carl Urban is in final negotiations to play iconic game character in the sequel to 2021's Mortal Kombat film.
That's a fucking terrible idea.
Carl Urban?
I think he would be a horrible Johnny Cage.
He's not American. That's for one.
He's not American. He's not ripped. He's not like, he doesn't look like Johnny Cage. He's got a fucking like full beard. It just doesn't work.
All those can be changed.
All those can be changed. Those are all superficial.
They're all wrong. They ain't right. It's just because he's Carl Urban. You're like, oh, yeah, the boys. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think he's a good
fuck
actor.
That, dude. No, fuck that.
Hey,
He's a good actor.
He's not my Johnny Cage.
He's also, isn't he also in, what else is he in?
he was in Thor.
Wasn't
Small role in Thor.
Who's the guy?
He
There's
was
so
in
many
Lord of the
people who
Rings.
would make a better Johnny Cage than fucking Carl Urban, you know?
I agree with that. I love Carl Urban, but yeah,
Ryan Reynolds would be
I was
a
about to
better
say that's the
fucking Johnny
only
Cage.
other person I could think of that would make a good
Honestly,
Johnny
Hugh Jackman would be a
No,
better fucking...
Cage. No,
fuck
no.
Captain America.
Chris, yeah,
Yeah,
he'd be
Chris
great.
Evans would make-
Oh my god, the dude who plays the other guy from The Boys, who plays fucking Homelander, would be a good Johnny Cage.
Anthony.
Yeah, he'd be hilarious.
Yeah, he would.
He'd be a good Johnny
He
Cage.
could, because he
No.
would really play like the movie role Johnny Cage,
Yeah,
or like the
it'd be
movie actor
fucking
Johnny Cage.
hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I honestly don't know realistically who would make a good Johnny Cage. Let's be like, think about the think about who Johnny Cage is.
Well, it also depends on what Johnny Cage they're going to try to portray, because we've seen different Johnny Cages throughout Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Get the UFC fighter Luke Rockhold, bro. He would be a perfect Johnny Cage. You know what I'm saying?
But is he a good actor?
Yeah, I think
just because he
he's
looks like him doesn't mean he's going to be a good
if he
actor.
could just act like himself, then. But not everybody can do that when you turn a camera on. You know
No,
what I
like
mean?
think about like do you
Punches his
remember
co-star.
like think about Get Him to the Great. Do you remember that movie? And
yeah, that
P
movie
Diddy.
was terrible.
P Diddy was the worst actor I think I've ever seen in my life. You could tell he was
yeah.
like reading off of like a fucking script. He was just like, "Yeah, man, you got to go and do this now." And then like you have like somebody who's like an
And cut.
actual good actor, like Jonah Hill, like trying to play off of that, and it's just so awkward. You know, like so you got to get real actors, you know, to play these parts. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd rather have the dude from Karate Kid, not Karate Kid, Cobra Kai. He's in both of them. The teacher, the main character.
Yeah, the blonde guy.
Yeah, I'd rather have him than fucking.
He's
what's
too
his name?
old.
He's a little old.
I don't give a fuck.
He's
better
too
than
old.
Carl Urban, bro. Are
I
you
don't
fucking
know.
kidding me?
Carl Urban?
I'd rather have fucking Harrison Ford right now than fucking Carl Urban.
Oh, he was also in Dread. I didn't realize he was Dread.
Yeah, he was. That's right. Yep, he was
The
Jordan.
fuck? I didn't know that was Carl Urban. I love that movie. Okay. I don't know. He could do it. He could do it.
Well, we'll have to see.
I honestly don't think they're going to choose him, though they're saying he's in final talks. I have a feeling he's going to drop
Tom
out.
Cruise.
Tom
Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Oh
There we go.
my god.
That's
That
definitely
would be perfect.
that's
It's
probably
probably
who they
who
based it
I was-
off
yeah, I
of.
was
Probably
literally
too
just
high
about-
budget.
No, I think they based that character
No, I
on
mean, like, I
Tom
don't think
Cruise
they
back
could
in the
afford
day.
Tom Cruise for
Oh.
the movie, is what I'm saying.
No, definitely not. No.
He could be perfect, though.
This movie's gonna flop. No, just kidding. Let's be real.
I didn't mind the first one.
The first one was good.
I didn't really like the first one very much. I thought it was kind of trash. I'm not even going to lie.
You know what was good, and I feel like everybody sleeps on and has forgot about, was that Power Rangers movie reboot that they did, like, you know, right around the
Oh,
time that
yeah.
Transformers and everything was coming out.
Yeah,
They just put it out, and it was good. And then just they never did anything with it. You're at a apartment complex honking outside. Like, I want to know, like, I'm sorry. Like, for those who can't hear it, I don't know if you can hear it in the podcast.
I don't know. I could hear it through the headphones, so I feel like it got
Yeah,
into the box.
someone's honking, like, at the gate, like, to let them in.
It's not how it works.
Someone's just like, better let that guy in, I guess. No, but anyways, so yeah, it's Devin
Oh, is it me? Shit,
Yeah.
It
I'm
can be
prepared.
me if you want.
So
I got
or
one.
Brent. I don't care. Someone do it.
All right, here you go.
Kill it.
Seagate has officially and permanently reduced the price of its expansion cards for Xbox Series X and S consoles.
Nice.
So yeah, if you need some extra storage, the
SSD.
Weren't they
storage.
already fucking expensive?
They were
No, they are
hella
lowering
expensive.
it.
Oh, they're lowering it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
they're-
Oh, I
not
thought
incredible.
I
They're
heard
getting
that.
way cheaper. Like the 512 gigabyte one used to be $140. Now it's $90.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
huge.
And
That's much more
Yeah,
reasonable.
the 1 terabyte version was $220. Ballers.
Ballers.
Now it's $150.
You needed 220 ballers to afford that shit,
And the
dude.
2 terabyte one used to be $400, and now it's $270.
It's fucking ridiculous.
So you're saving quite a bit of money on these now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
That's awesome.
I looked those up for some reason, and yeah, saw those prices, and I was like, "This is fucking ridiculous."
outrageous.
Yeah.
You
You could
know?
buy a PC for this.
You really could. You might as
No,
well
you
just
couldn't
get-
buy a PC,
No.
but you could buy a graphics
You
card.
could
Well, you-
almost just buy a whole
Whole
nother
nother
Xbox.
console, yeah.
That would have a whole terabyte of storage.
You just
And be
pull
like,
the
hold on,
store-
wait. No, you just keep them both plugged up. You're like, hold on, wait, I got to switch to my other Xbox.
Yeah.
And just-
Right?
Just switch between HDMI's.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's way better than buying a $400 2 terabyte card. Just buy a $500 1
It's fucking
terabyte
ridiculous.
Xbox.
Yeah. What you got, Devin?
So Hogwarts Legacy has amassed over $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
They should protest this game. I don't, you know. I
How
think, I
about-
think it'll do something.
How about no?
It's like,
But yeah,
goodness.
it's I think they hit this milestone too. It just got its release on Xbox and PlayStation, or Xbox One and PS4.
oh yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
So, but yeah, has sold over 15 million copies and made over $1 billion.
That's crazy.
And the
that
numbers are-
15 million equals $1 billion. 15 million copies sold at like $70. You know, that's crazy.
$1 billion. But
How about
Did I see
no?
how it's performing on Xbox and PlayStation 4?
Huh?
Did y'all see if it's performing well on the older consoles?
No,
No.
actually, no, I think. So it said, and that number is expected to notably increase. Oh, so this is. I'm sorry, I read this wrong. It's expected to notably increase as the game becomes available on the previous generation platforms. So these numbers were right before it launched on
Yeah.
Let's look
PS4,
up
Xbox
how
One.
it's performing right
Yeah,
now.
I hadn't
I'm
seen
kinda
anything on
curious.
it. I was too.
Yeah, because I think it just dropped. Like
Yeah.
literally right
So-
now. No, I'm just,
I'm gonna go with PS4. Let's see, PS4 Hogwarts.
performance.
Hogwarts. Like that. If you really think about that name, it's kind of gross.
Yeah, I think that was what she was
Warts
going
of
for.
a hog.
Well, it's going for the classic witch. You know, like the warts of a hog.
Yeah,
like,
into
the
their-
eyes of a bat.
yeah, into like a potion or
Yeah.
some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they had no idea where it was going at that point. Or at least she didn't. I feel like she was just throwing shit like at a wall, and that just happened to stick because the world's dope. Okay, so while Brent's looking for that, I guess I should do the. This one's interesting, and good news
Is it?
for Xbox,
Is
I
it, though?
guess. Yeah. Xbox has announced a new PC Game Pass referral program that lets existing members gift a free trial of the subscription service to a friend. Every Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass holder will be able to send a total of 5 friend referrals by clicking the Give PC Game Pass button located on your Game Pass home screen menu. Each trial can be redeemed to grant access to a 14-day PC Game Pass trial as long as the target of your generosity is new to the service. So cool.
That's cool.
Apparently, it's performing really well on last gen consoles. Like, it's either got a locked 30 frames per second mode or a performance mode that just takes on the frame rate cap off and lets it go crazy.
Lets it do whatever it can handle.
Yeah, and
basically.
a lot of times it'll get up to close to 60. And
Nice.
Like, so, you know, I guess the
Huh.
extra time they needed to optimize it was well worth it.
Imagine that.
Fucking-
Fucking. I'm out of news.
Brent?
Oh, let me get on in there. Hold on now. Let's see. File size for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has shrunk by 2 gigabytes for some reason. It
They
used-
just cut out a whole part of the game for DLC later.
That's what I was thinking.
Nah, it's probably just optimization, I would
Definitely. Yeah, they do that a lot.
assume.
It said that it originally was reported to be 18.2 gigabytes, but now it's 16 gigabytes.
Maybe
So-
there were some run under textures that you can't even see. Maybe
It's
they cleaned it up.
Yeah, probably. I bet that's what it is. Still the biggest first-party Nintendo game to
Ever.
ever be released. So
That's wild. Fucking 16 gigabytes.
yeah,
Hey, man. They know what they're
Crazy.
doing.
I don't speak this language, okay? I don't have
Yeah.
Nintendo. I only know hundreds of gigabytes. Fucking.
Hey, man. Their first parties still outsell almost everything else.
I'm
Jedi
fully aware of
Survivor is
that.
like 150 gigabytes. It was fucking nuts, bro.
All that is just uncompressed 4K textures. That's probably
Yeah.
what that is. But anyways,
Yeah, I'm fixing to have to upgrade my internal storage on my PC. My little 500 SSDs aren't doing. I got like 3 of them daisy chained.
Right.
we got so buckle up. The first trailer for Neil Blomkamp's, which I had no idea that's who did this, Gran Turismo movie is here, revving the hype ahead of its theatrical debut in August. So Legolas and Hopper might be the iconic duo you never knew you needed until now. But the new trailer for Gran Turismo, the movie,
Shows you the whole movie.
yeah, it does. Pairs Orlando Bloom with David Harbour as they hit the asphalt in an attempt to turn gamers into racers, inspiring plenty of high-octane action.
So,
But don't worry, Carl Urban's there too.
so I will say, all jokes aside, when I first heard about this Gran Turismo movie, I was like, how the fuck Like, what?
It's based on a true story, though.
But the premise is actually really fucking cool. If
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the whole damn movie in the one trailer that they released, though.
yeah,
I'm glad they're basing it on a true story because everything in Gran Turismo is just kind of like a
it's just a sim.
it's like a book of
No.
facts when you're playing it. Like
Based on the true story of Jan Mardenborough and the PlayStation Studios games, the movie is the ultimate wish fulfillment tale of a teenage Gran Turismo player whose gaming skills won a series of Nissan competitions to become an actual professional race car driver.
oh wow,
Alongside the
it's
trailer.
like Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, dude, he's living his dream. Alongside the trailer, Sony Pictures shared a new poster for the upcoming racing movie featuring Harbour as Jack Salter, a retired race car driver who mentors Archie Matiqua's Jan, pictured in the center alongside Bloom's Danny Moore, a motorsport marketing exec. So the movie is an adaptation of the video game, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it's weird that Blomkamp is doing this because I don't think he's ever done anything besides like District 9 level, like sci-fi, Chappie, all that shit. So this is going to be something weird like for him, I feel like. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But,
Cool. All right, let's see what we got here.
Oi.
Microsoft has announced more. Oh no, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. If you buy an Xbox Series S through Newegg before the 13th, I think, so you got a few days, you'll get a copy of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So that's kind of a bet.
That's what's up.
I mean, it's like, games these days are so expensive. It's like you're basically getting an extra $100 on top of your console,
Mm-hmm.
What else
Dope.
Yeah, I'm actually out of news. So.
Okay, I got one more here. It says, new footage shows Ukrainian military personnel piloting a remote-controlled turret with nothing other than a Steam Deck. As reported by PC Gamer, footage of the Steam Deck being used by the Ukrainian military first emerged via TRO Media on Instagram. Later footage, likely from the same event, appeared showing the turret explicitly being controlled by the portable PC.
Oh, boy.
The turret shown in the footage is a Shabala model developed by Ukrainian firm Global Dynamics. A crowdfunding campaign via People's Project raised 445,000 UA or 12,000 USD to supply 10 of the remote weapon stations to Ukraine armed forces. Why use a video game? Blah, blah, blah. It's a portable PC. You get it. It's got controls on it.
And the
Dope.
screen.
Yeah,
you can-
it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's worrisome.
Why?
I mean, robotic warfare, just
Yeah.
like, a
For
fucking drone.
$12,000, you get 10 of them things.
Yeah.
Drone flying
Pretty
around with
good
a
deal.
turret attached. Like,
Dude, Steam Deck sales are about to go up, bro. Thanks to the fucking war machine.
I was listening
You could
to.
sideload some games on your fucking turret and just be playing like Cyberpunk while you're murdering everybody. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of the weird, sad part about it is that it's like wow, cool, but at the same time it's like probably taking the lives of like a bunch of people. So
yeah,
it's like
and it's
I don't know.
yeah, this machine.
On the flip
this,
side, though, it's probably also defending, the Ukrainians against
Oh, for sure,
a
but-
superpower that's like fucking coming after them.
That's
That
true.
they have like
That
very
is
little
true.
defense against.
Well, they got
well,
a lot
no,
of
they
defense
got
now.
they got a fuck ton of
They've
defense.
got 10 Steam Deck powered turrets.
No.
No,
I'm
they
talking
have a
about like
lot.
all the money that they've been
Yeah,
getting
I
from
mean,
us
billions.
and
No, I
everybody.
know. I'm just saying, like.
No,
Yeah.
they are well equipped against Russia.
So that
I mean,
though
it's Russia, though.
it is true. It is a full fucking country coming in on Ukraine. But my thing is like I don't know why, but like just all the people dying in the world right now and everything just kind of makes me sad. So, and then hearing video games are involved in it, I'm like, that's kind of cool, but also
Yeah.
sad. But it's like
Not really video games, just tiny PCs.
Video game tech.
yeah, video game tech.
Yeah.
It makes us look bad.
And video game tech, and now kind of like hobby tech as well. Because
Yeah, no, that's based.
yeah, I mean, drones kind of started out as like a little hobby tech, and then
Guess
now,
I gotta switch to that Asus fucking
ROG Ally.
the Ally.
It's not the Steam Deck Axis over here. No, I'm just kidding.
Instead of blood diamonds, it's blood consoles now.
Yeah,
But
right?
but I was listening to Lex Friedman podcast, and he had the CEO of Boston Dynamics on there, and Boston Dynamics, along with like several other the leading edge robotics companies, they all put out a public like letter and promise to basically the world saying like our shit will not be used for warfare.
Boo! No, I'm just kidding. I want our special forces riding fucking Boston Dynamic dogs
Dude.
into the battle, dude.
Well, and like they got bipedal robots that can do flips and jumps and run.
That's what I'm
and
talking
That's
about.
why we need to make a robotics company that's like exclusively for war.
For war, dude. I'm
yeah.
talking. I want those like the fucking
Skynet, dog, like-
dude. No, not even Skynet. They don't even have to be AI like at this point. But I want fucking like the bipedal fucking backflip robots holding fucking just AKs, just fucking backflipping like shooting.
Backflipping their way into fucking combat. Just like,
Well, I mean, if you think about it, that shit could be weaponized really, really well.
Oh,
You cover that thing in Kevlar, and you send it in with a gun, and it can carry. They're getting to the point that they can carry a lot of weight because
imagine
they're.
a troop of like
Of them,
100 of them all just backflipping into a town.
Jesus Christ.
They're coming.
like imagine
You're like thump, thump, thump. The
Not-
glasses are all shaking. The fucking.
just holding two just fucking like guns. Like I don't even think like you have to see them backflipping at this point. They're just like
The backflipping is just an intimidation.
that's just it.
It's
Yeah,
just an intimidation tactic.
it's like
doesn't have to backflip.
you see ISIS like just screaming as like you just see just a fucking dark cloud of fucking like dust coming up from all the backflips they're doing. They're like, oh no.
It's like a movie. It's like the pile of human skulls, and then like you see this fucking robot foot just backflip into the screen and
Crush
like,
the
one of the skulls.
I'm ready.
But yeah,
No,
no.
I'm
Boston Dynamics has apparently made a lot of headway on like the amount of weight that they can carry and not lose balance and shit, and
Cool.
like how powerful they are. And then the next iteration of their bipedal robot is going to be able to carry even more because they're trying to design it for factory use and stuff. And
And can drive a
And
tank
heart-
weirdly. No, I'm just- but it's
But,
not
dude,
for war.
well, I mean, even if they don't, like, even if Boston Dynamics doesn't directly sell their robots to warfare, like, who's to say that the
the
U.S.
person
government
who buys it.
or the U.S. government just gets a model and then backwards engineers it,
That's
and then boom.
exactly what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
I'm sure the U.S. government has
Or reverse
just
en-
as
backwards
competent
engineer-
fucking
reverse
robotic
engineer.
engineers fucking working for them in secret in some
Oh,
lab
dude,
somewhere. You
I
know what I mean?
guarantee you, whatever you see Boston Dynamics has, the government and the military, fucking industry has something 10 times cooler, but we won't see it for another like 5 years.
See,
Yeah,
sometimes
unless
I
the
believe
shit
that.
really hits the fan, you know.
Oh yeah, then they'll be dropping in on fucking parachutes like Sonny from fucking iRobot, ready to just fuck you the fuck up, dude. It's gonna be cool, but scary.
It's not gonna be cool.
No, it ain't gonna be cool. No, it's gonna be some villain shit happening.
Oh, of course. But it's gonna be crazy. Anyways,
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got.
all right. So, yeah, that's it for this week's news. We're gonna jump into this week's hot releases. We got Marvel's Midnight Suns coming to Xbox One and PS4 on May 11th, I guess. And then
Wait, what's it coming to? PS4?
yeah, Marvel's Midnight Suns.
It wasn't already out
No, it wasn't on. No, it wasn't on like
last gen.
last gen consoles. I
And
guess.
Switch. It just came to Switch too, right? Like
Wow.
last week. Yeah.
Okay, that game would be fun on Switch. I think
It
of
is,
all the
yeah.
consoles, like it's probably a good portable game. You know what I mean? Like it's
Seems like it.
kind of got that XCOM vibe with a little bit of Persona mixed in there. It's not a bad game. I don't know. I've spent a like good 12 hours or so playing it so far.
Nice. And then what really matters, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is
What?
coming May 12th
Already?
to Switch. What do you mean already? I've been out here dying for it.
He's
Okay.
literally talked about it every single episode for the last like
need
4
it.
weeks.
I need
Fiending
it.
over here.
I'm
Like,
really curious about it.
Oh, dude, it's already it's already out in the wild because apparently Amazon, like if you pre-ordered it on Amazon, it's been shipping out early to a bunch of people. So like a bunch of people have the physical copy and are just fucking playing it right now. And they're saying it's going to be another like 10, like, so you didn't like the first one, so you probably won't care. But the first one is a 10. And this is also supposedly better than the first one. So I'm in.
Dang.
Let's
I
go.
might have to try it out,
Oh, you
If
got
anybody
to.
wants to sell me a Switch on the cheap, let me know.
Nintendo will sell you one on the cheap. That's a brand new Switch Lite is like fucking what?
200.
Yeah, it's not even.
I don't want no Switch Lite.
What do you need a Switch for? Like a Switch Lite is.
I thought it was like a lower resolution
You
screen.
can't dock
No.
the Switch
Oh.
Lite.
all
bro.
you just can't dock it.
That's important.
And I would never dock it.
He's not gonna dock
You
it.
don't want to dock it?
No, most people don't dock their Switches. I guarantee you, it's like a 50% of people. It's like a half and
So
half.
you're not trying to play Zelda on a big screen, like.
No, dude. I played it all on handheld. I did switch over during the pandemic. I played it on a big screen, but I could have played it
I
on
played
handheld.
Pokemon Snap like almost exclusively on the big screen. That shit was a lot of fun.
Which
That
is very
makes-
weird because it's a game that you use as a camera.
I mean, yeah, but also like it's super well optimized for the like big screen.
It
Like,
is.
Some of the games look significantly better on the big screen. Some of them.
Some of them, yes.
Some of them look fucking awful. Like,
The-
but mostly third-party games.
Yeah.
That, like any first-party game
Well,
is going to be really well optimized.
Isn't
for
the Switch Lite also like just bigger and clunkier?
No.
I thought
It's
it
a
looked-
light.
No, it's way smaller. That's like the whole point.
Oh.
yeah.
Which one am I thinking
This
of?
one has the controls
OLED
are
is
built
the biggest
into it.
one, I think, and it's got like a significantly bigger screen, like an inch bigger or something.
There's a lot of
'Cause
cool colors.
I thought
for
the light was like thicker.
If I
as
was
well,
gonna buy
like on
one,
the
I'd
back.
get the OLED because you're gonna have a better handheld experience and you can dock it still.
My little sister has the light, and
As
the light's
much as
dope
like
as
you
fuck.
don't want if you're gonna get one, you might as well get a dockable one, man.
If you plan on no, honestly, if you're gonna get one at this point,
It would
it's
just
already
be,
so late in the fucking
If you're
game.
gonna get one, you might as well get a Steam Deck and fucking side load Switch games onto it. I'm not even.
Yeah,
joking.
I'm sure
like,
you could play. I know you can play Breath of the Wild on PC because it's been
I
fucking.
saw a couple
yeah.
screenshots
But
this past week actually of somebody playing it on PC.
I have a
Mhm.
Switch emulator on my Steam Deck right now, and it's very competent.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I've heard you can actually play like with better resolution and mods and shit. So you might as
Yeah.
well.
A lot of
Um,
games are kind of iffy with the heart. Like I know that the new Metroid remaster works really well on the
Mhm.
Steam Deck and stuff like that. You know.
But all I'm saying, it's gonna be hella dope. So let's get into our new segment that has been named officially by Devin, which is
Oh,
Chat
shit.
GP Trivia.
Oh yeah, who's
Where-
pulling it up? Do y'all want me to?
You
get it?
can't, because you're the only one that has it on their phone.
Okay,
like,
yeah, I still haven't signed up for it. I've heard
Uh.
so much about it. I've listened to
a lot
podcasts
of
with
fun.
the CEO of it. or
I'll get it for
whatever.
next week. But yeah, so Brent can get in on this
I don't
trivia
mind, yeah,
fun.
this is fun for me.
But basically, the segment is Brent asking Chat GPT for video game trivia questions, and then we got to answer them.
Sorry, give me a sec. I gotta log in. I forgot about the segment.
So Chat GP Trivia. I really like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Anyways, so while we're waiting on Brent to pop that up, I was gonna say, have you seen any of the gameplay from the Tears of the Kingdom?
Uh-uh.
Oh,
Well, I don't have Switch. I mean, I've seen like little clips, but like I haven't like
Oh,
delved
you
into.
just don't care because you're not gonna be able to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, why am I gonna just tease myself like that? Like,
That's
I know
true.
it's gonna be a good game. I know Breath of the Wild was a good game. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't. Like, I love Nintendo, but I've been so far removed from Nintendo now. Like, I don't. The Breath of the Wild was a game that I really wanted to get it for, and then the recent Pokemon, like Scarlet and Violet, I wanted to get a Switch for, but that's about it. Like, I don't see myself playing the Mario games really.
What?
Honestly, yeah. I don't know.
Wow, dude. You say that, but the moment you start playing one, I guarantee you'll be fucking deep in it. Like the Super Mario Odyssey was a phenomenal game, dude. It's worth playing.
Okay,
Here we go. Chat GP
All right.
trivia.
I told it to create 3 unique and mildly challenging trivia questions about video games and give me the answers, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I like that. I like that prompt. Mildly challenging.
Yeah.
Well, we are mildly educated. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm mildly stupid.
Mildly intelligent.
All right, the first one. In the game Minecraft, what is the maximum number of enchantments that can be applied to a single item?
Applied. Or is it implied?
Applied. That's
Okay.
what it says.
I have no fucking idea.
12.
I'm going to say 3.
It's 5. So I guess the closest without going over
Yeah,
is Jamel.
I
Closest
never
in
got deep into
general is Jamel.
Minecraft like that.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
okay.
Yeah.
I play Minecraft almost daily, and I had no idea. So, all right, here we go.
Well, there's also varying degrees of how much you play. Like, if people can play Minecraft a shit ton, but they have completely different experiences.
Yeah, I don't really get deep into it.
just build shit.
I just build shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Other
like
people
building
do
shit.
like
Not
the
trying to enchant
Ender
shit.
Dragon
No.
shit and all that. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm not doing all that.
right? Ender Dragon.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a
Who's
thing.
that? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Which
No.
classic video game character was originally named Jumpman before being renamed?
Mario.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good job, guys. All right. Here we go. Here we go, Jamel. This is you. This is you right now. In the game Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, what is the name of the final boss?
Oh,
Wait, do you
Calamity
know-
Ganon.
Oh, Calamity Ganon. You got it!
No, I didn't. I never played it. I would not have known that.
Nice.
He just said
I wouldn't have
he's not a Nintendo guy.
Do you want more questions from ChatGPT?
Yeah, dude, we need like 10 since they just fucking are gonna give us everything. Just give us like a good, I'd say 5 to 10 every episode. It's
But how do
fun.
what if it starts regurgitating the same ones?
Then we'll stop
Dude,
doing
it's
it.
it's AI. I'll just be like, hey,
Switch this shit up now.
get a little more creative.
Give me
bitch.
different ones. Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
me 7
But it
more.
saves the history on your account, so it knows what it's already done. Yeah,
okay.
every time.
I
So
didn't think about that.
It comes up with a new like response too every time. It's not just like a pre-prompted. Like it's actually like
it
thinking
scavenges
of,
the
like-
internet for like just.
I mean, I know how ChatGPT works. I didn't know it logged.
I don't think you understand, Devin.
I
You
think
get
I
it,
understand a
bro.
lot.
I don't think you
It's
understand.
just a little too complex.
Yeah.
No.
You are mildly intelligent, Devin.
Look here, you sons of bitches.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, just fucking. All
Yeah.
right, here we go. 7 more. I told it to make 7 more, and here we are.
Okay.
What is the first video game to feature a hidden Easter egg?
Oh, fuck. This is like a big deal in Ready Player One.
This is actually really cool. I had no idea about this.
First
It's an
on-
old
Yeah, it's an
game.
Atari game for sure.
You're right.
Yeah.
And it's
What was
it was a dev left his name somewhere. Like you could do
And it was
something
li-
to get his name.
It was literally an egg.
Wow, really? It was an egg? It was
I
actually
think
an
so.
egg?
You had to carry one little. Well, it was like a dot. You
No,
had
I
to
don't
carry-
think it's an egg.
There was like a dot. You had
We
to
can
carry.
look it up right now if you
Well,
want.
it was in. They showed it in Ready Player One.
Brent, what's the answer?
Okay, the answer is the first video game to feature a hidden Easter egg was Adventure for the Atari
Yeah.
2600.
And it was an egg?
No, it was.
Google it. I'm kind of
You have to carry like a dot. Like you pull out this dot and carry it to a certain area and then drop it, and then it was his name. It was the developer's name.
What was
They
the
showed it in Ready Player One.
It was
Easter egg in Adventure?
This is not going to look as cool as
Atari.
you're hoping it's going to look.
I hope it's gonna look cool.
It
The,
doesn't.
the Easter egg is accessed by setting difficulty levels 2 or 3, first retrieving the gray dot from the Black Castle catacombs. Yep. So
Yeah.
it says the secret room, which held game creator Warren Robinette's signature, is credited with being the first Easter egg ever released in a console. I knew it was his name. It was like half and half. Like you knew the dot
carrying
thing,
the dot, yeah.
but I knew it's not an egg. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
his name
Yeah.
in a
That's
room.
really cool.
Well, no, I
Alright.
was thinking of carrying the thing was an egg, but then I remembered it was just that dot. Because they do it in Ready Player One at the very end. If you haven't watched this fucking movie, at the very end when they're all in like over the ice and they're trying to figure out the shit, playing that game, and then he's like, "Oh, it's like the first. It's literally the first Easter egg," and then it shows him complete the Easter egg in the movie.
Yeah. The reason why it was his name is because back then publishers wouldn't credit developers. Like they wouldn't put the
Yeah.
credits in games and stuff. So like the only person or the only people getting credit were the publishers, which was Atari.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, in the video game League of Legends, what is the maximum level a player can reach?
Fuck.
120.
I'm gonna say 60. No, actually, it's 20. Right?
You're way closer with 20 than you were.
It's
with
either
60.
20 or 30.
30?
It's something like very small because you only level up in the
I've
match,
never-
and then every match you restart
It's
from the bottom.
18.
Okay,
Oh.
gotcha.
You were very.
I knew it
close
was
with
very
20.
That's
small.
weird. Yeah, I never played League of Legends, so I had no reference for that at all.
Okay. Let's see. What is the name of the princess that Link must save in the original Legend of Zelda game?
Link. No.
The Legend of Linkda. Wasn't this the question it asked last time? though?
Yes.
I think it
Maybe.
was.
No,
No,
I
no,
think
no,
it
it
was
was
the
reverse,
opposite,
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Who's
yeah.
the character in Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
Look, it's trying its best over
It's-
here. Okay? It's-
Definitely Zelda.
You get some hits, you get some misses. Okay.
But it was
Says-
Zelda?
Which video
Thought it
game
was Daisy.
console was released first? The Sony PlayStation, Sega Saturn, or the N64?
And so, wait.
It was the Saturn for sure.
Definitely the
Yeah.
Saturn. All right, you ready? 3 more. In the Super Mario Bros. Series, what is the name of the character who often serves as Mario's sidekick? Okay, they get him stupider and stupider.
Yeah, I mean,
You
if they're that bad, just skip them.
I didn't read it before. I'm reading it to you.
Yeah,
guys.
you're right.
Bowser.
No, it's a Luigi. It's a Luigi.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank
no
you,
shit.
Harry. All right, here we go.
That was a
All right.
joke.
Dude, that mildly
Mildly
intelligent.
intelligent.
Okay, this one seems dummy easy to me, but you know it might not be. I mean, it's probably just because I played the game. You know?
Okay.
Why? Is it because
Uh,
we're mildly intelligent?
You might be mildly.
Intelligent if you can't answer these questions.
Yeah. What is the name of the popular video game franchise featuring the characters Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Santiago?
Yeah, Gears of War.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was about to say that seems really easy to me. Game Overwatch. What is the name of the character who can teleport short distances and turn invisible?
Oh shit. I have no idea. To be honest.
Is it the main most popular character, the one chick? Fuck, what is her name?
You're thinking of Tracer, and no,
Tracer, no?
no.
I thought she moves fast though, right? Or
Yeah,
does
she moves
Who
fast.
is it?
Oh,
It's
okay.
Sombra.
Would have never guessed that.
Fucking play Overwatch.
Oh, yeah, I'd say you had a pretty good, you got most of those questions right.
Yeah, I think we won against AI tonight.
Yeah. We beat
so-
the machines,
yeah,
you know?
Fucking just
An-
ask for hard ones next time.
Actually,
Well,
just don't
the,
even.
the differing level of difficulty was.
There was some were harder than others.
when
Actually, I think they were all pretty easy if you've played the game that it was
Yeah,
talking
it was
about.
very
Yeah.
It was
specific
very
to the
much
game.
about, have you played this
Yeah.
game, you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
but next time on Chat GP Trivia. No, just kidding.
Next
Anyway,
time I'm going to just tell it to make me the hardest video game trivia it can possibly make me. And we'll just see how hard it can get.
Gosh.
It'll be unanswerable. It's gonna
we'll see though.
Google something super
Watch us
specific.
just know, though.
Yeah. Hey.
What if we just know? What
It,
if we're just good
it asks
like
a
that?
RuneScape question. I got it.
What's the third line of code for this game? No, I'm just kidding. No, but anyways, guys, remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of GameSpeakPodcast.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, but you can watch it live before anyone else on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast every Monday evening at 7:50 p.m. CST. Be sure to join us and the rest of the game. Whoa. Did I forget something? No. Be sure to join us in the rest of the games. I'm reading it. I'm like, did I
Glitch in
forget
the
to
Matrix,
read something?
bro.
Yeah. The rest of the GameSpeak community
Mildly intelligent.
at dsc.gg/GameSpeak podcast. Check out our other video content on YouTube. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Joffrey Jamel, Brent at Brent Has One. That's the number one. And Devin at Devondre Us. And check out the GameSpeak podcast Instagram. Until next time,